Hello semuanya, saya Zealous Gaming dan ini adalah reaction video untuk Genshin Impact Special Program 3.3.
Right? Huh? I know you. Oh, what am I doing? Well, obviously I'm here scouting out the place. I've been investigating the area and I've already figured out all the plans for the event. Of course, I can tell you all the details. We're practically family.
Yes, Arataki
I'm
gang.
Max Middleman, and
Let's go.
this is the
Ito
Genshin
hiran.
Impact version 3.3 special program. Let's roll the version 3.3 trailer.
Oh, trailer. Okay, let's go, guys. Come on.
A friendly word of advice. Test of Courage events tend to give rise to a variety of strange rumors and stories.
Oh, we back to Inazuma.
So please, be sure to exercise caution.
Wait! Anjing kau, are fucking hell.
How was that? Were you scared? Who goes there?
So, is there really a ghost around here? Why does Paimon have a feeling that it's staring right at us?
Are you talking to me?
Oh, this is fucking refreshing, man.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
From
Oh,
this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Dude, aku ada chills, man.
Squall and Fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
Holy smokes. Oh, Farzan.
Dare to mess with me? Too late for regret.
Ah, precious.
Have fun with this gift.
Scaramouche, the mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
All sense clear, all existent void. Brah. Gila. Oh my god, I got chills, man. Yalah, yang based on yang dekat Inazuma tu itu memang sumpah aku terkejut tanpa sebab. Tapi yang pasal Scaramouche kan, bro, the interaction between Scaramouche and Dottore, bro, come on. Don't tell me you don't have chills about that shit. That's just freaking stupendous, man. Even if it's English. Hey, but to be honest kan, when you ask me about English voice actor, I think they've done pretty magnificently in the recent updates, man. I mean, yes, Japanese voice actor is still the best among the best, but English.
Hey everyone, and
is
welcome to the Genshin
freaking
Impact
good, man.
version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller-Cruz, the
Ah,
voice of
Sarah
Lumine
Miller.
in Genshin Impact. And today, I'm joined by...
Ito.
Max, the one and only Middleman, voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Would you do the fandango?
Yeah, that's true. But, to be fair, it's a really cool fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm super excited to have the chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Gila, aku pun excited.
Yeah, that
Sumpah rin
trailer
din yun.
had everything. It had everything. It had action. It
But
had
I
drama.
forgot to mention
It was
the
lighthearted in places, but it was dramatic.
Halloween event
Yeah.
in
Dude, I'm just super
Inazuma
stoked for everyone
is
to see
super
Scarmouche's,
refreshing,
like,
man.
Backstory.
Like,
I'm super
bro,
excited about it for reals.
Heck
Imagine
Well,
Halloween
speaking of
in
that,
Inazuma.
following the story's development,
Although, yes,
Scaramouche
Halloween
is still
is
in
already
Nahida's
ended, like,
custody.
1 month
so
ago.
I bet the question
But
everyone's wanting
it's
to know is
freaking
how he'll become the
refreshing,
Wanderer.
gila.
Yeah, for
Sumpah.
sure. And there's quite a story
Gile,
behind
ini
it.
gile.
If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest interlude
Ooh,
chapter
Archon
in
Quest.
version of Genesis. There is
Oh,
so much to learn in this
interlude
quest,
chapter.
so I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh,
Ooh.
come on, man. You can't just leave everyone
Dance
hanging like that.
left.
How about some hints?
Mesti ada dance left
Ah,
ni.
please.
Interlude
please.
always got dance
It's
left.
alright. How can I
Yes.
say no to a cute Chibi-Ito?
You can't.
Here's a little preview from the quest.
We ran into 2 people at the academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It
Oh, yeah,
is
kan?
interesting
Tadi
though
dia
to see the
mention
Traveler,
Tatarasuna,
Nahida,
yeah?
and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
Tatarasuna is
Yeah, but in this interlude chapter,
curse
Nahida
kan?
will
Curse
task
from
the Traveler and
Inazuma
Paimon
yang
with
ada
keeping an
aura
eye on
jahat.
Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Oh, interesting. So
Interesting.
obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh,
Scaramouche,
yeah, totally. And I'm
Scaramouche
liking
would you do the
Scaramouche's new
fandango?
style. Ooh, dude's looking sharp.
Heck yeah, always. No. Right. And at this point, he's known by a completely different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay,
The
so
Wanderer.
I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's really changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for
Eh,
now. Travelers
wait.
will have to experience the story
Sarah
for
Miller?
themselves
Eh,
in
Lumin?
game. I mean, it's better to explore the storyline
Oh, yeah, kan?
without too many
Wait.
spoilers, right?
Before this actor,
Yeah, I
Eater,
guess
right?
you're right. Okay,
Always
we'll leave
Eater,
the rest for
right?
travelers to discover themselves.
Lumin!
The
Lumin
Wanderer
era!
is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3. So let's talk about that.
Kakihara
I'm sure
Tetsuya.
many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck
I
yeah,
just
sure
I
thing.
just realized,
Let's have a look
shit.
at the Wanderer in combat.
This is literally like forever.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries.
We
It's
did
rather
see
pathetic
Lumin
to force a
in
conversation
the
just
version
to occupy silence.
version whatever
Wind
apa
rises.
ni live stream version. Always with Eater, man. There's no Lumin. There's no Lumin content.
Bow your head.
All right, Patrick, you're up. Help introduce the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an animo vision, so he uses wind blades to perform ranged normal attacks.
Windblade.
Wait a
Windblade.
second. Windblades?
Not the same as the Traveler's wind blade. So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo, Fushudan, and Kugu Tofukai respectively.
Kugo,
The damage they
Fushudan.
deal and their AoE will be increased. Their damage will be considered normal and charge attack damage,
Well,
respectively.
This is a
Also,
death
Kugu Tofukai will
for
not consume
Spectre
stamina,
enemy.
and he can remain hovering for a certain
Although
duration.
Yaimiko already done that, tapi awesome siya.
I know,
Scaramouche
right?
gameplay, sumpah
But
na
he
yun.
can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering
Kuguryoku
state,
point.
which is the blue meter you see on the screen. Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Okay.
So this
Dia berbeza
mechanic
dengan
works a
stamina
little
biasa.
differently than our typical stamina meter. There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So, this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to keep increasing hovering height. Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly. So, with his talent, Jade Claim Flower,
Damn.
when casting his elemental skill,
I think I will
if
pull
it
him for my
contacts
second account.
Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect
Dang.
depending on which element
If I'm
was
being
contacted.
honest.
So, for example, increasing his Kuguryoku
Stylos,
points cap,
yeah.
attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. The Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that.
Kalau
It's helpful and still looks really cool.
I didn't
Yeah.
mistake
So
them.
after unlocking
Kalau
another
Cryo
talent,
tambah crit rate.
Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in
Pyro
a hovering
tambah attack.
state, if his normal or charged
Kalau
attack
ada
hits an
sila.
enemy,
And then
there's a set
some buff
chance
tu
to
aku
gain
lupa.
another buff effect, allowing him to sprint mid-air without consuming Kuguryoku points. Additionally, this buff effect will fire wind arrows to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
Saw that.
That's pretty cool.
Bakit
I
yung
love all the
pa-stylo,
detail they put into the
Bobo?
Wanderer.
Alright, this brings us to the Wanderer's Elemental Burst.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy. So, travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can
Good day,
decrease
man.
the mora required when ascending
Mobile
bows and
Legends speed increased by
catalysts.
10%.
Hey now, you can never complain about saving Mora. Am I right?
Ah!
True.
Eh? Oh no!
All right.
Yes!
Seen the Wanderer.
First time
Let's
ever
move
dia
on
guna
to the
juga tu
next
barang.
new
Let's
character.
go!
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yay!
Bro, I got thousands of that shit.
Oh, what did you say? Oh, I'm old
Oh,
now,
Faruzan.
so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Faruzan,
Man,
and I'll see if I can pick that up.
made to Faruzan.
What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental
Oh,
monuments?
shit. Can I get Faruzan before I
Wait.
get a 5-star in my first
Did you
account?
forget to call me Madam Faruzan just now when you asked your question? Whoa! What? There's nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Oh, she sounds
gosh.
sassy.
Yeah, and smart too.
Chan
She
ni Chan
seems
ni
so awesome.
She's fun.
Holy Yui.
I wonder what her skirt's made
I know,
of.
her
A
design
researcher
is so
from
cool
100
and really
years
detailed.
ago.
I love it.
So, even though she looks super young, she's actually an old person? Like, where's my teeth?
Well, she's not
What
that
the
old.
fuck,
Oh,
ito?
right.
Old man.
Faruzan's age is probably still nothing compared to Scaramouche.
But let's call him the Wanderer, Sarah. Please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's right. Yeah, no, and speaking of age,
Yokai.
isn't the
Yaimiko
traveler's
kan?
age also
Yaimiko
kind
salah
of
satu yokai.
mysterious?
500 years.
That's true. It looks like all of our
Faruzan,
characters are
100 years, ah.
intriguing. But it's safe to say that Faruzan is way older than most people in Tibet. Faruzan works in the Academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
So, I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature blessed with long life, you know? Like Klee?
No, she's actually just your regular, typical human being.
Oh.
Well, maybe not so typical. About 100 years
Kalau
ago,
clean, dia
Farazan was an
clean. Dia
undisputed
elf.
genius, traveling all
Clean
around
is elf.
Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries.
So elf
The notes
tends
she
to
left
live
behind
a long
eventually
life,
became the
long
basis of
ages.
mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa, she sounds pretty amazing.
But later, she accidentally stumbled into some ruins while trying to solve a puzzle. There, she encountered some strange phenomenon which stopped her from aging, and was trapped there for nearly 100 years. She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Oh, that's
Can you
her
imagine being
story.
trapped in a puzzle for 100 years?
100 years
Wait,
in a
wait,
puzzle.
So that's how she's been
So,
Herod for over a
He,
century.
Yeah.
So she is
And even now, she
100
still has
years
the
because
pride
he,
of a scholar in her
he
heart, and is
she
a very
trapped
talented
in
person.
a puzzle.
It's just that after being separated from the world for so long, she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I get what you mean. She was once a proud researcher in a niche field that has become unpopular after 100 years. So, is she still completely dedicated to her field?
Yep. And she often tries using her old age as a means of
But
drumming up
it's like
support for her
Captain
ideas.
America for.
However, I think she'd prefer to be complained
for a
about for
minute-
using her
minute
seniority
there.
rather
Because
than garnering
why I
sympathy
mentioned
for her
Captain
experience
America.
being trapped
Captain
in the ruins.
America trapped
sounds
in
like
an
she's
iceberg,
quite the character.
and then
I
when
know, right? Okay,
And then
so
when
now
he
that
wake
we've
up,
covered her backstory,
it's already
why don't we
2020.
take a look at Farazan's
no,
abilities
20
in combat?
Let's do it.
Fight, 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 fight.
2014, 2015. I didn't remember. I didn't recall.
100 years have passed, yet there hasn't been any change to those dumb rules at the academia.
Tapi lawa juga.
Dare to mess with me? Have fun with this gift!
Charge attack dia macam vacuum.
I love all the geometric shapes when she's playing. Did you guys see that?
Yes, there's
crazy.
so
Her
much
cha-cha thing is
geometry, and I took geometry.
It looks so cool.
Ah, yeah.
So, Farazan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the
Partian
usual
shot.
bow attacks you'd expect from a bow user, so there's not too much to say about that. But her skills are where things get interesting. Her elemental skill deploys a polyhedron that deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex, pulling nearby objects and
use her
opponents in.
skill,
Nice.
and then
So
charge
she can
attack,
clump enemies
and then
together.
it's
And there's
become
also another thing about her
a black
special
hole.
charged attack. It will create a vortex effect at
Vortex,
its point of
whatever.
impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or ally member, it'll apply a mark and create a vortex after a short delay.
Okay.
Oh.
So it looks
Oh,
like there'll
that's
be a lot of
fucking
potential uses for
cool,
this attack.
man.
Travelers will have to experiment with it and see what they come up with.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to try hitting teammates with the arrow in co-op mode and have them charge into the enemies to group them all together. I'll have to see who wants to try that with me.
That's
After unlocking the
fucking
talent
cool.
Impetuous Flow, the time required for fully charging Farazan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's animo resistance. In her elemental burst, she deploys a dazzling polyhedron and releases a whirlwind pulse. Throughout its duration, the dazzling polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of that triangular path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, the next she's gone for 100 years. Bada boom!
Even Sino's jokes are better than that.
It was pretty
All
fun.
What the fuck he told
Anyway,
me?
let's hear
Bro,
what effects
come
these whirlwind
on.
pulses have.
Sure. When the whirlwind pulse hits
Polygon.
opponents, it will decrease
Get it?
their animo
God?
resistance. It will
Polygon?
also apply an animo damage buff effect to all nearby
Man,
party
I
members
love
when it's
Daddy
unleashed.
jokes.
Travelers should note that the effective range of this buff is quite large, and it's not just within the whirlwind pulse itself, so there's no need to go chasing the polyhedron.
Oh,
After unlocking
so,
her talent, Lost
meaning to
Wisdom of
say,
the Seven Caverns, when a
pula.
team
She
member uses
is
normal charge or
support
plunging attacks,
of Phil
elemental
lah.
skills, or elemental bursts
See,
to deal animo damage to an enemy,
The animo,
the damage will increase based on
animo
Farazan's
triangle
base.
thingy.
This effect can only be triggered once
Still
for
there.
a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it
So
seems she'll
she
be the
can
solid
become
support.
a main. No,
Totally.
she can become
And
a
as a
sub
researcher of
DPS.
mechanics and
But
puzzles,
nah,
Farazan has taken it upon
most
herself to
animo
explore many
characters
ruins,
is then,
with her travels taking
is
her all
usually
across Sumeru.
a
Her
support.
exploration talent reflects this. and she gains more rewards when dispatched on a Sumeru expedition for 20 hours.
Double.
I'm sure no other mentor in Haravatat
Psycho.
has 100 years of experience in solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty hard to beat. So, the big question is, when can travelers expect to get these new characters?
That is a good question. Let's talk about the upcoming event wishes. In the early part of version 3.3, the Wanderer and Arataki
Oh,
Ika will
Faruzan.
be available
Oh,
for their own
snap.
event wishes.
Ah,
Faruzan
if
will
I want
also be making her
Faruzan,
debut
then I
in
should
these event
pull
wishes.
Ito
In
again.
the later part of version 3.3, we'll
Oh,
be seeing
Shogun and
rerun
Ayato.
event wishes for both the Raiden Shogun and Kamisato Ayato. And last but not least, the new 5-star catalyst, Tule Tula's Remembrance, will be
Tule
appearing
Tula.
in a new weapon event wish.
And that's not all. In version 3.3, 2 brand new artifact series will become available. So travelers should be sure to check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
Alright.
Artifact apa?
I hope travelers will have fun experimenting
And more
and
damage
trying
bonus
new
15% when
combinations
charge
with
attack
these.
hits an opponent.
Okay,
The
we've already talked
equipping
about a ton of
character's
new
normal attack
content,
speed
so
will
why
increase by
don't we take
10.
a quick break with another redemption code?
Yo,
Sounds good.
that's...
Roll out the
Bro,
code.
sick!
Woohoo!
This is Haizo! No, I want to read that shit. But that anemo thingy is literally Haizo's artifact, man. Bro! Gile, itu gile. Yo! Damn, son. Yo, my Haizo in my third account would get a freaking buff with that artifact, man. Well, I'm getting ready for my resin. Yo, new artifact. I will try to get you, my bros. Hehe. Tenanda yo. Let's go.
Welcome back to the version 3.3 special program. Okay, Patrick, what do we have next?
So next, we'll be covering the upcoming events for the new version.
That's right, we've already mentioned the Test of Courage event, and I'm sure plenty of you were wondering about that, so let's
Halloween
start there.
event.
Aha! You must be here to participate in the Test of Courage. I can already see a dark aura surrounding the two of you. If you carelessly go running into the event, all it'll take is one little misstep, and the darkness will swallow you up. Some strange
Fuck.
and unusual things may
Creepy
occur
to
along the
basta
way.
dito.
If you ever feel you can't handle it, you may withdraw from the event at any time. This is your last chance. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Test of Courage. Enter at your own risk.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is a test of courage, so I'm sure there'll be some scary stuff going on there.
Experience your
scared.
amusement and win.
Anyway,
But
to
that
successfully
new
clear this
weapon,
event,
though.
we'll be facing a series of little tests.
Ooh, what's this? Tests, you say?
Yes, that's right.
Tonkabo Shigure.
Word has it that if you walk around the test of courage, you might find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the rules down, so I'll do a quick introduction. Basically, travelers will have to control a bouncing bar to bounce a ball and use skill ball effects to break as many bricks as
I
possible.
love this game.
Okay, I'm liking this one. Seems pretty straightforward.
During
Yeah.
the game, travelers will be able to trigger elemental reactions to break bricks more effectively.
Nice!
Yo,
It even has elemental
cool,
reactions.
cool.
Yeah, we can control the character to move the bar. When the character we're using is either pyro, hydro, cryo,
Yo,
or
this
electro,
is-
the corresponding
freaking
element will be
fun,
applied to the bar.
man.
By switching characters, you can change the element of the bar.
Okay, all the pieces are falling in place now. The bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks also have their own elements. So causing a skill ball of one element to hit blocks of different elements will trigger elemental reactions. There, how'd I do?
Yep, you nailed it. The
Yep,
bar
you
will
nailed
add
it.
the element corresponding to your character. Besides triggering reactions the way you just mentioned, if a skill ball is already infused by an element and it hits the bar,
Aku-
it will
aku
also
pula
trigger
yang
a reaction, causing the skill
stress
ball
tengok
to have
orang ni
some
main.
additional effects. When preparing your team, you can equip modifiers to receive various buff effects, which will help you successfully clear the challenge.
Oh, nice.
Also, when there are less than a certain amount of bricks on the board, and the ball lands another hit, the bar will unleash fireworks.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah.
The fireworks.
Travelers
I
can
thought it's a
utilize this
machine gun.
effect to break some bricks that would normally be difficult to hit directly.
It's like a bonus attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need to select characters of the right elements, equip the appropriate modifiers,
Oh,
and use different
itu
elemental
maksudnya.
reactions
Oh,
to break
patutlah
bricks
we
and
can
score more points.
we
And
can
then
change
travelers will be able to use their
characters.
points to exchange for rewards.
Oh,
in the
different
event shop, correct?
characters.
That's right.
Different.
Also, travelers will have
Dang,
the option
son,
of teaming up
that's
and playing the
freaking
event together
cool.
in co-op mode.
Oh, looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, in addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will even have a chance to meet with some good friends again, so be sure to check out this new event. All right, let's move on to our next event.
Okay, so next up, we have a race event called Across the Wilderness. Your objective,
Across
collecting
the
balloons.
wilderness. Hey,
Ooh,
I don't know.
What's that?
Seems like the Wanderer's abilities might come in real handy here.
I know, right?
So, in this event, each stage will have wilderness balloons scattered all around. Travelers will need to find as many wilderness balloons as possible within the time limit to earn increasingly better rewards. So, during the challenge, travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So, it'll be important to assemble the right team depending on the traits and terrain of the challenge area.
Anxiety
interesting.
players.
Yeah, so
that
travelers
didn't
can
have any
also use something
Kazuha,
called the Wilderness
Cutscene,
Compass to
20,
obtain various buffs,
or
which
zombie,
include enhanced jumping
or
capabilities,
albedo
increased
when
movement
playing
speed,
this event.
or unlimited stamina,
Stomps.
etc.
Ooh, cool.
However, you can only claim one buff during each challenge. You must consume Blessed Energy to use the compass and gain the selected buff. You may charge the compass up by finding wilderness balloons or interacting with Blessed Energy in the challenge. Or you can always wait for the compass to passively charge over time.
Yo, this event looks pretty crazy. It's almost like watching parkour.
Yeah, there are two different kinds of wilderness balloons in these challenges. The first is harvest balloons, which will increase the overall progress of your search for wilderness balloons. The other kind is sonar balloons, which will cause several harvest balloons to appear around you for a set amount of time.
That's awesome.
So there will be 5 stages available for this event, and travelers will need to consider the conditions and terrain of each stage to come up with the best way to complete it. Also, travelers may team up in co-op mode for challenges.
Ooh, more chances to play together. I love it.
Yeah, same. Okay, let's move on to our next event.
Everyone's
move on to the
favorite
next
game of
event.
hide and seek is back with the Wind Trace event. And
Ah,
of course,
Wind
this is going
Trace!
to
I
be
love
another
this
co-op event, and I,
game.
for one, am super excited for it.
I love
Nothing like a
Wintrace,
good
man.
co-op. Many of you might already be familiar with this event by now, but there have been a few changes. Let me introduce what travelers can expect to see this time around. We can probably skip some of the basics this time. You know, players either hide or seek. And then...
Okay, wait a second. There actually might be some new travelers out there who've never seen this event before, so why don't you start with some of the basics?
Right, good point. Okay, let's start at the beginning then. This is a game with a long history in Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into 2 different sides, the Rebels and the Hunter. You will need to use skills and master the art of hiding or chasing down others to win this event. The goal of the Hunter is to capture all the Rebels, while the Rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting caught by
Aku
the
suka
Hunter.
gila event
Okay,
event ni
that's
aku suka.
straightforward enough. So, what
One
else you got
of the
for us?
event that I really
Well,
liking the
some
most.
travelers may remember playing as the Rebels and getting caught early in the game. Once that would happen, all you could do was spectate and watch the rest as the others continue playing. But this time around, once you're caught, you'll still be able to participate in the match even in observer mode.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
tapi
pretty cool.
sebelum
Once
ni pun
you're in
sama
observer
juga, kan?
mode, you can't be seen by other players and will receive the illusory beacon skill. This skill will allow you to place a random beacon to confuse the hunter. If your beacon successfully tricks the hunter and is destroyed, then the hunter will suffer an obscured vision effect.
Oh.
So even after you've been captured, you can be like a little ghost trying to help your teammates by disrupting the hunter.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. And at
Okay.
least you won't have to sit there and just watch the rest of the match anymore.
Exactly, but what does the Hunter get this time? I mean, we gotta keep it fair.
Some new Windward arts have been added for both the hunter and the rebels. the hunter will now be able to use the hunter's net. This net can be thrown and will remove any rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the hunter that a rebel was detected. If a beacon is caught in the net, it'll be destroyed and the hunter will not suffer from obscured vision.
Nice. So I guess if you love playing Hunter, you'll probably love this.
Oh yeah, you definitely should. The skill rebels used in previous versions of the game to place beacons can now only be used by players in observer mode. However, the rebels will be able to use an all-new concealing beacon skill. This skill will allow you to deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain invisible while you're around that beacon. All players, including your rebel teammates, will be unable to see you while you're invisible. If the concealing beacon is destroyed by the hunter, then the hunter will have their vision obscured for a short time.
Dang.
Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Ini buff.
Yeah.
So even if you end up being captured by the hunter at the start of the game, you'll still be able to participate and assist your teammates. And
for those that
primo gems and other rewards, the good stuff. So be sure to check it out.
Memang
Oh, that's awesome. Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends.
Siapa yang main Hunter yang
our next event is a combat-based event.
Time for some combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a forbidden place warded by dust and sand, mysterious foes have assembled lines of fortifications to stop your coming.
Ini event aku.
That's right, a new edition of Misty Dungeon will arrive in version 3.3. Stoked.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty Dungeon. Each has a different leyline disorder, and travelers will have to adjust their teams according to the disorder's effects and the distribution of enemies. There will also be trial characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient runes, we can power up the control array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial, additional benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the leyline disorder's effects or revive and heal your team.
You know, if it were up to me, I'd say just go for all the challenges.
I know, but travelers should keep in mind that the challenge objective for each trial might be different, so be sure to check the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can look forward to winning Primo Gems and other various prizes. Yes.
Primo Gems.
And last but not least, version 3.3 will also have leyline overflow events. Travelers can look forward to saving their resin and earning more Mora and experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers out there still leveling up all their new characters. And even if you don't need those resources now, it's always good to stock up and have more on hand, am I right?
Tapi ini untuk...
So, travelers looking to upgrade their characters won't want to miss this.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff.
In addition to the new version's limited time events, version 3.3 will also be adding a new permanent game mode called Genius Invocation TCG.
I forgot about TCG. Let's go.
But before we get into that, let's take another quick break and enjoy a redemption code.
Redemption code.
Slap that code on the screen.
Slap. Okay, guys. The code important. The code is important one. Okay lah, so far untuk event kali ni aku agak suka lah. And then we got this our conquest interlude kan. Soalnya interlude ada dance left, tapi I don't know lah whether we get dance left or not, because in the conquest interlude this time it's more to Scaramouche and Dottore for some reason. So tinggallah nanti macam mana. I looking forward to it actually. And yeah, TCG man. Benda yang ditunggu-tunggu. I forgot about TCG.
Welcome back everyone. During our journey into that, we've stumbled across several NPCs talking about a game called Genius Invocation TCG. So next, we'll introduce this card game that's been taking Teyvat by storm. In the version 3.1 special program, we already revealed that Genius Invocation TCG will be a card game where we can challenge various characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But There is actually a legend behind this game. It is said that a young guy in Sumeru found an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opened it and discovered that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King had been captured inside.
What a name.
It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes.
Ouch, game over.
After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks to becoming a legendary TCG player.
Nice. Hang on, is it just me, or does that kind of sound like the plot to a light novel or something?
You're right. It turns out that Yai Publishing House is about to release a hit light novel series based on Genius Invocation TCG.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yai Publishing House.
Maybe. But anyway, that's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be. Though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So while you were telling us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective is to defeat all of your opponent's character cards.
That's right.
Also, there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards, and as you might expect, these character cards have a normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst. So when a character card deals elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element. Then, you can switch to a character card of a different element and use their abilities to trigger an elemental reaction.
Wait, did you guys notice that there are even monster character cards? Can we even make a deck of, like, just the monsters from the game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Heck yeah, I am! I like card games!
Who doesn't?
So in Genius Invocation TCG, all actions require you to spend elemental dice. Each round, both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in the world of Teyvat.
You're right. So in addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The elemental dice required for a character card to perform an action correspond to the character's element. So for example, a Pyro character like Diluc needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action. Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
Also, elemental dice can be used to switch characters or play a variety of other cards, such as equipment cards, event cards, and support cards. All these cards create the potential for a variety of strategies.
Right. While playing Genius Invocation TCG, travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more characters and NPCs. By completing challenges, you may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins can be exchanged in the event shop for cards, or can even unlock dynamic skins for certain cards.
Dynamic skins?
Yo!
Those are cards that have moving illustrations,
Begitu
right?
pula.
That's right. All character cards can unlock a dynamic skin. After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental burst.
And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should note that playing against your friends or other travelers won't count towards any leaderboards or provide any rewards. So you can relax. It's all just for fun. Okay, that's everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG, and that brings us to the end of today's special program.
Matchmaking mode oke
So,
lah,
what did you
tapi
think?
kalau macam contoh ada
does it have to be over?
ranking mode kan,
There's so much that
bro.
this version has to offer.
Wih,
I can't
best
even take it all in right
gila.
now. I'm just
Man.
super stoked to be.
Wah, boleh ke dia kalau kita buat
I
tournament card
think
game
I just
saja?
gained some Kuguryoku
Gile,
points
ni
just doing
gile.
The
Oh, the card game,
look cool.
the card game,
I know, what about
lol, the
Skirmish
card game
Covenant?
excites me, man.
Like that's insane.
I know, that's
Like,
awesome.
wow.
Super dope.
I
That's
don't
awesome,
think
and
that
I
this card
cannot
game
wait
could be
to play in some of these events and
Freaking
mini games. I'm super excited.
good.
This was so fun. I'm really glad that we got to do the special program together.
I'm so happy I got to come back for another special program. This is my 3rd time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one, so thank you for having me.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes.
Doesn't it feel
I'm
good to
honored
feel
to be here,
special?
sir.
Tapi yang
Do
buat
you
aku
feel
happy kan
special?
pasal yang chibi
I
characters
really
ni
do.
Lumin
Thank
gila. Because selalu eater kan,
Well,
eater.
I think this is the end of our special program.
But this time we got
so
Lumin.
I
So,
hope everyone
happy
enjoyed
for
it,
Lumin
and
user.
we'll
Like me.
see you in game. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Okay, that's a good program actually for me. And yeah, yang pasal artifacting itu kan. Sebenarnya aku tertanya-tanya juga apalagi artifact satu kan, sebab aku tak dapat baca pun, tajuk sangat. Aku baru nampak yang satu artifact kan, and then yang second tu dah dapat. So okay lah, aku rasa sampai sini je dulu kita punya video. So thank you guys for watching the reaction video with me. I always enjoy. So yeah, ini adalah reaction daripada seorang Malaysian streamer. Dan ya, literally apa susuk reaction yang aku buat tadi tu, itu adalah real, tiada tipu ataupun gimmick semata-mata. Dan ya, betul-betul aku cakap yang trailer untuk yang Archon Quest Interlude tu betul-betul kembangkan bulu roma aku ya. So yeah, I think that's all for me. So thank you for watching.